power. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين ألم نشرع لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك ذكرك الذي أنكر ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك إنما اليسر يسرا وإنما اليسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب إلى ربك فارغب صدق الله عظيم صدق الله عظيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Blessed is the man that worketh not, neither considereth the heathen, nor sitteth in the seat that is scornful. For his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in this law that see I did sunrise and sundown. Him I go dear like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth fruit in his season. Him leaf never I go wither, and whatsoever him doeth shall prosper. Yea! The heathen them now, they saw them there like a chaff, which the wind driveth away. Therefore the heathen them never go turn upon judgment of the sin among them. In the congregation of the righteous, for the Lord God Jah, love the way of the righteous and the way of the sin among them. Always and always I go perish. Let the people of the Most High God say, Jah. Kadamawe gromabe la e Higzag beer tana istalina bashante shante shante shante. Kadamawe gromabe la e. Where two centuries meet in the name of the Most High Jah, and that's so Jaja there. If Jaja never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain. Same way, if Jaja never watch upon your house, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is safe. Ow, sawu, sawu, ow. Ow, mau, 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 ow, mau, sabolisa, adanu wato, ewo asikle afo. Ow, 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 mau, sabolisa, mau, 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 akpe, 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 akpe. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodom, where we speak truth to power. And of course, my name, Black Rasta. In every traditional African home, there is a black pot. And every time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Yes, ingredients of so many different colors, shapes, and sizes, aromas, and even flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot. Be subjected to some amount of heat, and they produce that sumptuous food. The food does not even benefit the black pot, neither does it benefit the ingredients. But every time, this collaborative effort would continue selflessly. That is why we all as a people must put aside all our differences of religion, color, shades of skin color, religion, creed, faith, philosophy, so we can all come together in the continent of Africa and exact some amount of change for us and for the next generation. Yes, it is time to produce development. It is time to bring about change for our people, our continent, our land. This must be that tree planting generation. We must start planting the seedlings right now. Yes, we know that we will not live long enough to benefit from the shade of the trees that we plant today. But does it really matter? The next generations will benefit. Same way we are benefiting from trees planted by generations gone that never lived long enough to benefit from the shades. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, and here we speak truth to power. We don't criticize, but we would only criticize on one condition, just one, to build and not to destroy. We are in the service of God and country. Here we don't talk politics. What we talk is called patriotism. Our aim is to rewire the mindset of our people, the African people. If the mindset is right, every other thing will be righted. All our leaders are thinking about roads, hospitals, and schools. Nobody is thinking about developing upstairs. But once this is not developed, it doesn't matter how many schools or roads or hospitals you build, everything will be destroyed by the bad mindset. This is the Blakk Pot, and we are live on Pan-African TV, Africa's only Pan-African TV. We are also super live on Loud Silence TV and live on our own Black Empire TV. Via the power of satellite, we are seen all over the continent of Africa and the whole world. We are #1 when it comes to Pan-Africanism on TV. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Please pick up the numbers and do business with us. Yes, keep us in business whilst we keep you in business. Oh, yes. Remember, we are also on YouTube, and that's our name, Black Empire Media. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell so that you will be reminded every time we come on. Remember, Monday to Friday, we come every day for an hour. Yes. And we are talking about development of our people, our continent, our land. Well, my name is Blakk, RASTA, and today we have a number of issues to look at. Oh, my God. We got to start now. Number 1. Watch out what it says. It says, real or crocodile tears for Kamala Harris. Real or crocodile tears for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, the Vice President of America, was in Ghana. She came over here. She's a very confident and bold woman, very beautiful. She was here with the second gentleman. I'm talking about her husband. And they were all over Ghana. Roads were blocked. Oh, she went to so many different places. She made a number of speeches. Above everything that she said, Ghanaians can remember and will never forget her LGBTQI+ agenda. What is it? Human rights, especially for the minority. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you say in Ghana. But what I know is that in America, and my position will never change, we uphold human rights for everybody, including the minority, LGBTQI+. Many thought that this was an arrogant stance. You are going into a country that does not appreciate LGBTQI. You do not rub it into their eyes and tell them that this is what you believe in, and it doesn't matter what you believe in, your position would never change. What if they also tell you that their position would not ever change? What happens? It means your agenda is dead. At the end of the day, she signed. Yes, America signed some amount of money that they are going to be giving out, and we'll go into that later. Is it for these African countries she's visiting to consider the human rights for LGBTQI+? Is it? Is it not? We will go further into it later. But today, what I want to look at is not the LGBTQI+ issue. I've already told you what I feel about it. I'm talking about the laying of these reefs. She went to the mighty Cape Coast Castle, which I prefer to call the Cape Coast Dungeon. In fact, it was built several years ago. The Dutch, the Portuguese, the English, all of them came there to play. They carried us as slaves. Out of the comfort of our homes, some of us were even kings and queens. They carried us on slave ships. They encouraged tribal or ethnic wars. We killed each other for salt, for mirrors, for alcohol, and guns. We wasted each other's lives. It's something we don't want to remember. And those of us who remain here have been grieving all this while. Many people think that because we were not taken out of the continent, so we are better off. No, we have been grieving. Now look at the scenario where your brother, your sister, your mother, or your father are all taken out, and then you remain here. What is the importance of you staying here? You're going to grieve. A lot of people would even visit an early grave. Yes, we suffered. We suffered in the days of slavery. Kamala Harris went all the way, and CNN did not forget to capture this. Come here. Come here. Now watch this. Harris faces painful black history in emotional slave outpost visit. And this from CNN. Published when? Now when you look at it, you see it there. Watch it. It says, Vice President Kamala Harris emerged from the female slave dungeon at the Cape Coast Castle, visibly shaken. Inside the famous slave trading outpost dungeon, Harris set a bouquet of flowers down and placed her hand on the centuries-old wall, connecting herself physically to the sorrow of the Africans it once imprisoned. It was a rare show of emotion for the typically stoic, barrier-breaking leader, often reticent to talk about her own plight as a black woman in America. But at a makeshift podium in front of the cannons that stretch along the ocean, Harris's voice broke as she talked, delivering at times off-the-cuff remarks to describe what she saw. Being here was immensely powerful, Harris said at the castle, a relic of transatlantic cruelty. The crimes that were done here, the blood that was shed here, the horror of what happened here must always be remembered. It cannot be denied. It must be taught. History must be learned. Cape Coast Castle has become a feature of Western leaders' visits to West Africa, a way to pay penance for the past sins of the nations that shipped and sold African bodies and chart an optimistic future for their descendants, both still on the continent and across the globe. Harris's visit had echoes of those by former President Barack Obama, who visited the landmark with his family in 2009. And his mark on Cape Coast Castle as the first president have a direct bloodline to the continent was evident when Harris stared upon a plaque unveiled by Obama on the wall to the left of the male dungeon door. But absent from her remarks was her personal connection as a black American and woman in power, a daughter of Jamaican and Indian immigrants. Harris has often described her decision to become a prosecutor, her career before entering politics, to right injustices she witnessed growing up in a predominantly black neighborhood in Oakland, California. At the Castle Tuesday, Harris only talked broadly about blackness and the progress that must be made for equality. We must then be guided by what we know, also to be the history of those who survived in the Americas, in the Caribbean, those who proudly declared themselves to be the diaspora. Harris said, all these stories must be told in a way that we take from this place the pain we all feel, the anguish that reeks from this place, and we then carry the knowledge that we have gained here towards the work that we do in lifting up all people, in recognizing the struggles of all people, of fighting for us, and fighting for us. The walls of this place talk about justice and freedom for all people, human rights, and for all people. Dash it away and come. So this is Kamala Harris, Vice President of America, visiting Ghana. And it's good that she was taken to the Cape Coast dungeon. Barack Obama was here in 2009. I was with him in Cape Coast when he came to look at this same dungeon. He wept. His wife wept. They were visibly shaken. When Barack Obama returned to America, his anger to see black people liberated increased. We all remember what he did in the beginning. At the end of the day, they had to let him understand that it's not a black agenda. It is the American agenda. Kamala Harris is here. She's so shy to talk about her personal experience. She's talking broadly. Probably she's that legendary Kweku Anansi who says, all my thoughts remain in my head. She will not tell you what she will do, so you can go ahead of her and block the things that she intends to do. But Kamala Harris, today I decided to choose this write-up from CNN so I could speak with you directly. You are a product of that slave dungeon. You are a product of that slave dungeon. You might not have physically been in that female dungeon, just a few meters wide. But your ancestors were there. The pain they felt there, they gave birth to you with part of the pain in your DNA. No matter how much you try to call yourself a crocodile as a piece of wood, you will fail. In other words, no matter how long a piece of wood stays in water, it never becomes a crocodile. It's a popular African saying. You are one of us. Yes, you might have the American label. We are glad to have you rise to that level, the same way we had Barack Obama rise to that level. But in all your dealings, remember Africa. We have suffered as a people. Some of us were carried into slavery. Our great-grandfathers birthed you in the so-called diaspora, which Rasta man will say, levaspora, because they intended that we would die, so they called us diaspora, and we would not agree to die, so we will say levaspora. Kamala Harris, you came into this country, Ghana, because of the Russian threat. You came into this country because of the Chinese threat. You came into this country on another agenda, the LGBTQI+ agenda. Today, the West sees that agenda as more important than the hunger that is killing our people all over Africa. If the West will push the same energy that it is pushing in trying to propagate LGBTQI+ into hunger in Africa, not one person will be hungry in Africa. The energy that you use to push the agenda of the LGBTQI+, if you push a quarter of that energy into salvaging the stomachs of Africans who you are trying to force LGBTQI onto, nobody will be hungry in Africa anymore. Our leaders understand it's not your duty. It's not your responsibility. Our leaders are sellouts. They don't even know our history. You will be shocked that you came all the way from America and went to the Cape Coast dungeon to see this. You'll be shocked that our president, Nana Akufo-Addo, has never even been there before all his life. I'm telling you. He lives in this country. You will be shocked that this president has never even been there before. He doesn't know what it means to say slavery. He doesn't know what it means to say atrocities. Men and women who were carried out of Africa. Men who were not gay, but they were sodomized by so-called slave masters. We went through atrocities. Yes, it's in our DNA. When my brother is suffering, I feel it in my bone. It doesn't matter where he is suffering, but by some wonderful communication, I feel it in my bones. Kamala Harris, all I'm trying to tell you is very simple. Yes, you are an American vice president, but you are black. Your ancestors come from here. Before they got to Jamaica, they were maroons here first. The Chromantines, they were part of us. As you think America, also think Africa. A lot of American people only think America. People like Trump, they tell you America first. Yes, America first. Fine. But in these times, we are growing beyond just nationalism. We are moving towards what is called worldism. I may not belong to your country, but what your country is going through, I feel it. And I feel a part of your country. And I would like to support your country without intertwining agendas in the head. All the aid we get from you, they are not proper aid. You come to us, so-called aid, you don't want us to trade with these people. Don't trade with these people so we can give you this. Oh, the aid you give us, they are not proper aid. You give us something you call aid, but it is. What kind of aid is this that you give to us that tells us that we must accept a certain culture that has never been part of us? It took you time. Over 200 years of being democratic in your country. We are now learning your kind of democracy. You cannot force us to understand in 1 year what took you 200 years to understand. No. It's a gradual process. Some of our people are slow in picking up things. Some of them too are radical. Some of them are so conservative, like you have the conservatives in America, the party you belong to. No, that's not your party. No. Kamala Harris, the tears you shed at the Cape Coast Castle, was it real or was it crocodile tears? Because right after shedding the tears, we didn't seem to see any change. Or was it hidden inside your stomach? We expected to hear some fiery, pro-African speech. Our people are suffering and our leaders are not making it any better. As for our leaders, we have written them off already. Maybe the only people who can save us are the people from the so-called diaspora. Me, as a historian, I understand the role of those in the so-called diaspora played in liberating Africa. I remember Marcus Garvey left Jamaica and went all the way to America and England. Look at what he did for black people. I remember the story of Paul Coffey, the first man to own a ship, and how the American people did not believe that a black man could own a ship and he had to end up at the presidency to be investigated. I remember the story of Chief Sam Charles. I remember the story of Adoko Kofi. I remember much more than I've said. All of them had to come from the so-called diaspora to be able to open our eyes and lead us towards a certain new freedom path. Kamala, please, if you cannot be like some of those people, don't make our condition any worse. Whatever aid you are giving to us, we beg you. If it is AIDS, carry it back. I'm speaking tongue in cheek. We are tired of the treachery. We are tired of people pretending to be helping us, yet they are actually hanging us. We remember the story of Lyndon B. Johnson, the President of America, who caused the very first coup d'etat in our country and removed Kwame Nkrumah and ran the country aground. He was a traitor to our democracy. Need I say more? Did you shed real tears or was it crocodile tears? I leave it here. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. Next story. And what does the next story say? Come here. ECG thieves paraded. There are thieves stealing electricity. And there are some employees of ECG, Electricity Company of Ghana, who are super thieves. Crazy thieves. It's terrible. Now recently, ECG is on a spree of disconnecting some people who are refusing to pay their electricity bills. In fact, even if you pay about 50% of what you owe they let you go. But people want to steal power. And when we talk against them, some people get angry. Watch this from my Joy Online. Look at the headline. How many ECG employees charged for stealing how much? 2.1 million Ghana cedis prepaid credits. How many of them? 3 of them. Employees. Employees stealing 2.1 million Ghana cedis. You know how much money that is? How many employees? 3 employees of the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, and 7 others have been slapped with 20 charges bordering on money laundering and stealing of over 2.1 million worth of prepaid credits. The employees are Ali Nansili Shaibu, a computer programmer at the ICT department of the head office; Grace Gardner, chief supervising cashier of the ECG district office at Kaswa; and Anthony D.K. Kwei, a technician at the ECG district office in Kaswa. The other accused persons are Ibrahim Baba Adamu, technician at Ghana Electrometer Ghana, and Muntari Adamu, Garba Awudu Misbao, Kwame Apia Donko, Eric Yauche, and Augustina Lanian, who are all private vendors who sold ECG prepaid power. Credit to the public. ECG in 2003 entered into a partnership agreement with various companies, including Electrometer, to provide prepaid power distribution to customers across the country. Private dealers were tasked to engage in the sale of the credits as well. Prosecutors say the first accused person, Ali Nansil Shaibu, traveled to Hohoi in 2016 to resolve a prepaid connectivity challenge for the 7th accused person, Garba Audu Misbao. The two agreed that the software will be manipulated to enable prepaid credits to be sent to Gariba without the knowledge of the Hohoi district office of the ECG. The 7th accused person will then delete the transaction and share the proceeds among themselves. Credits worth 199,351.60 transferred and sold under the scheme. Dash it away. Come here. So these are the things that make this country not to grow. We live in a country of kleptomaniacs, a country of thieves. Listen, I've said this time and again. We live in a country that thrives in negativity. We have an international airport and we named it after a villain, Kotoka. Kotoka was a ruthless coup maker. He was the one who shot and killed very, very patriotic Ghanaians in a so-called coup d'etat in 1966. We named our international airport after him. Ghanaians have been asking, why do you do that? No president with common sense from that time up till now has thought it wise to change the name of that place. I've said it time and again. We could give it another name, Accra International Airport. And the Accra should be spelled A-K-R-A, the original spelling of this part of the country called Accra, where the capital is. Accra International Airport is enough. Ancient Accra, not the Accra as in A-C-C-R-A, the spelling of the European. No. So that we can go back to our history, the history of Accra. Up till now, no, the so-called international airport, Kotoka, is named after a villain. Same thing. Now, when you look at some of these things, you are shocked at what is happening in our nation. We are so interested in thieves. We glorify people who steal from us. Now, these people have been hired by the ECG. They pay you salary. The salary is not enough for you. You go behind, manipulate the machines and the softwares, and you steal from the nation. Why do I say we live in a country that glorifies thievery? In our own proverbs here, what do we say? Abanejuma, onswa, watchel. Infante, the work of the government, we don't carry on our head, we drag it on the floor. In other words, the government is a certain entity that we don't have to give our loyalty to. We don't have to go under the weight and struggle to make the government work. We must drag it on the floor. So ECG workers are dragging government work on the floor. Water and sewerage, Ghana Water Company, they call it now. They are also dragging everything on the floor. Government workers are the worst workers we have in Ghana. They are number one lotto stakers. Time that they are supposed to be working for the Ghanaian people, they are staking lotto. A lot of them are past the age of 70, but they have dyed their hair and all that, and they feel comfortable. My brother, the nation cannot grow like this. We must be able to come out and expose thieves. You'll be shocked that the family of these thieves knew that they were stealing. But it's because they are their thieves, they will not expose them. How many people will steal from Nima? They will steal from the government and run into Nima. And Nima people will say, oh, these are thieves, come and catch them. No, it's our thief, we'll protect him. How many thieves from Ashaiman will steal from the government and run to Ashaiman, and Ashaiman people will say, oh, government, come and take them, they are thieves. No, they will rather protect them and say that it's their thieves. It's the same with almost every society in Ghana. If my father is a thief, it's my father, I will never expose him. But I will not threaten my father and tell him that if you don't stop this, I'm going to call the police myself and get you arrested. When you go to Europe, they do that. A son can call the police and say, my father just broke into a bank and stole money. He broke into a bank. They say bank, and we say bank. A son can call the police and get the police arrest the mother. The mother can call the police and let the police come and arrest the son. I think that my son is the person that you are looking for, the one who broke into that bank last week. I think I just discovered this thing with him, and the police will thank him and come and take the son away. That is how the nation can develop. When you steal from the government, you are stealing from us. You are stealing from yourself. That's why I keep saying we need patriotism. No patriotism, forget it. ECG would employ thieves from now till Jesus Christ comes. Where is the loyalty now? You are working with people who are full of ego. You establish some work outfit. All the people you invite and employ and pay, they are thinking about how they can steal from you and rather build their own and also employ people who will do the same thing to them. Because when you steal from your employer, do you expect that when you have your own, the people you employ will not steal from you because you are God? Please, let's be wise. Let us have common sense of patriotism, or else this nation will take several centuries before it can have an inch of development. I'm not cursing the nation. I'm cursing the thieves and all those people who are refusing to help the nation develop. This is the Black Pot. When we return, we have more to talk about. Hey! Wayo!
Blakk Pot, Coco Show, man.
This is the Black Pot, aka Coco Show, where we speak truth to power. Did you see that quote from Aesop, a Greek philosopher? We hang the petty thieves, and then we do what? We nominate, we bring in the great ones into office. Now go to the jailhouses. The ECG thieves are not there. The water company thieves are not there. The political thieves are not there. Yes, it is those who have stolen bananas, candies, and smoked some herbs that are there. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, and we are live on Pan-African TV. Via the power of satellite, we are seen all over the world. We are masters of Pan-Africanism on TV. We are also live on Loud Silence TV, loud on our own TV, the Black Empire TV. Please catch us on YouTube. We are called Black Empire Media. The Black is spelled B-L-A-K-K. Oh yes, Black Empire Media. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification button so you get to see all our stories every day when we come your way. Next, watch it. And what does it say? Come here. Nigerian organ harvesting senator, desperately cruel. Who is that guy? His name is Ike, right? This guy is a senator, deputy, Speaker of Parliament, as we would have in Ghana. This man is very sad. We talked about him only a few days back. Today we're giving you a little bit more of details. Remember what we talked about last week? Watch it. It said what? Nigerian politician, wife and doctor convicted for trafficking human organs in the UK. Come here. And this was from Ghana Web, right? And you will see the man. Bring back that photo. Bring it back. You see the man. That's the politician on the far left. In the middle is his daughter, who looks so much like the mother. So that's the family. He loves his daughter so much. Love in quotes. She's attending school in the UK. So, but what is the story? Run it. Let's look at it quickly. It says, a popular Nigerian politician, Ike Ekweremadu, has been convicted together with his wife and a doctor for engaging in organ trafficking. The 60-year-old former deputy president of the Nigerian Senate, his wife, 56, and they said Dr. Obinna Obeta, 51, are said to have conspired to facilitate the travel of a 21-year-old Lagos street trader to London with the intent of exploiting him for his kidney. Now let's go to the last paragraph. It says what? The senator's daughter, Sonia Ekweremadu, reportedly had a kidney disease which forced her to drop out of Newcastle University, where she was pursuing a master's degree in film. That's the family. Father on the left, daughter in the middle, and wife at the end. This was the lady he was looking for the kidney for. Now, what does the story say? He went all the way to Nigeria, where he comes from, and hired an agent to look for a street boy, an abochi, selling mijingoro and gorontula. And they promised him that they will give him how much? 70,000 pounds, right? That was 7,000 pounds, not 70,000. 7,000 pounds. And they promised him that they will give him a new life in England. So the agent walked all the way. Come here. Just walked into Lagos. Aboki, come. Do you want to travel to Obodo Igbo? Do you want to go? Yes, but me, I don't have papers. Okay. We will give you papers, but we will need you to donate one of your organs so that we'll give to somebody who needs it to keep the person alive. You don't actually need it. You have two, but you need one to survive. So you'll be okay. Okay, me, I don't care if you say I'm okay. I'll get the money and then I can, run away from the hardships of Nigeria. So they lured him and they lied to the doctors in the UK that this person was a family member. Unfortunately, when they tried to check the kidney and all that, they realized that the kidneys did not match. And then it came out that, no, they were lying. And Senator was seen to have lied. But Senator did not even want to show his face because of his political position. So he sent an agent to go look for the guy who would donate the kidney. He himself didn't want the guy to see him and even recognize him someday. So an agent was the one who brokered the deal. They flew the person into England. And when the doctor sat the person down and asked properly, are you a family member? Do you know the hazards you will go through when we harvest your kidney? These are the health hazards you go through. After that, you will not be that normal. You would have to go through medication for this period of time. He was never told that. So they were only interested in his kidney. They didn't even make provision for him to go through some medication for that period after the harvesting of his kidney. And they were supposed to give him £7,000. Listen to the interesting thing. After the doctor spoke and opened up everything to the 21-year-old Lagos boy, he didn't want to do it anymore. And this man threatened him. Said, you know me, I'm a senator. If you don't do it, we will put you in another plane and take you to another country in Africa. There we will force you and cut your kidney and give to my daughter. After all, we paid for you to come here. We can't waste that money. So the little boy said, okay, I agree. When they left, he sneaked out of the hospital, escaped, and went to the police station and reported. For 3 days, he was in the cold of winter on the streets, nowhere to go. He had to go to the police and report to the police, and the police came in to arrest this wicked man. Now the court in England decided to convict this man, his doctor, and the wife, because they were all in the know, except the daughter. The daughter was in school. She was just told that there was somebody who was going to donate a kidney. She's so desperate, she doesn't know who it is. And again, when she appeared in court, she cried her heart out. Now, this senator is so rich. He has property all over England and all over Nigeria. But instead of looking through the family to find who could genuinely donate a kidney, he rather wanted to buy it. And in England, it is an offense to pay for an organ. It has to be donated for free. You know why? So that people would not go into harvesting kidneys for sale. Do we get it? My brother, my sister, I want to thank the English courts for convicting these wicked people. You are the only people who have children whose lives you have to protect. They forgot that the 21-year-old was somebody's child too. They wanted to save the life of their own and endanger the life of another. You threatened the little boy that you would make sure that you would take him to another country and harvest his kidney so that your daughter can live. He could go to hell and die there. What kind of wickedness is this? These are the people we are voting into offices to come and run our country and decide the path. To God be the glory. This is the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we got more. Hey! Wayo!
Skipper George. Blakk Pot, Kukushoda, man.
This It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Next thing we are looking at says Putin laughs at petrodollar. Come here. America and Russia are in a cold war. Right now, it's becoming a hot war. This is the president of Russia. He's called Vladimir Putin. He never laughs. This is the best smile you can ever get from him. He's the king of bombs. The other day, when the ICC said that is getting ready to arrest him, he said, let any country dare to come and arrest me, I'll bomb them. He didn't even say shoot, I'll bomb. He's the king of bombs. He went to invade another country that used to be part of Russia. And we're talking about Ukraine. We all didn't like the idea. The basis, they could have sat down to jaw, but they didn't want to understand each other, and they had to use force. A lot of countries in the world suffered from that single attack of Ukraine. America and Russia do not agree. But now it looks like it's getting worse. America leveled sanctions on Russia. And this is what is in the news. Watch this. The end of petrodollar era is inevitable. Russia mocks US with video of Kenya president. Oh my God. The Russian embassy in Kenya has mocked the United States over what it says is the declining influence of the US dollar. The embassy posted a tweet of President William Ruto cautioning people who are hoarding dollars to advise themselves because of a crucial decision he was going to take soon. For the people who work numbers, I am giving you free advice that those of you who are hoarding dollars, you shortly might get into losses. You better do what you must do because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks. Ruto stated in the video of their March 21 tweet. Petrodollars is defined as US dollars earned from export sales of petroleum products. Dollar is the main currency of exchange in the purchase of petrol products by most countries across the world. Dash this away for the time being. Dash it away. Let me explain this. We've said this time and again. America went all the way to the Arab world, convinced the Arab world, the major producers of crude oil. Now listen, the whole world wants crude oil. We are your major customers. Anybody who wants your crude oil, let them pass through us. We will charge them in dollars. By so doing, the dollar was so hyped. The demand for the dollar increased. And if you know a little bit of economics, once the demand goes up, prices also go up. So the dollar started skyrocketing. But it was a plan that America hatched with the Arab countries, and it worked for America. Everybody is looking at the American dollar. But countries are beginning to open their eyes. They're like, no, why should everybody be using America's currency? Yet the currencies of our countries are not doing any good outside. You cannot go to America and spend Kenyan shillings. If you go to America and you are holding the Nigerian naira, you want to buy candy with it, you will go to jail. If you go to Texas and you hold the Ghanaian cedi, in fact, you might be sodomized because you are crazy. Nobody wants that. But American dollar, even in hell, they accept it. Everywhere in Africa, even illiterates who don't know any currency, they accept it. It's almost like the lingua franca of the economics. So, what happened? Ghana started by saying that we are no longer buying fuel with American dollars. We are buying it with gold. And American dollar dipped a little bit. Russia came out and said, now all our transactions, including buying fuel and anything from Russia And what Russia would also buy from whoever, we will not use American dollars. We will rather use the Chinese yuan. So they came together with the Chinese. Remember, America came together with the Arab world. America started having problems with the Arab world. Russia is now joining hands with China, two big superpowers. And they are pushing away the American dollar. The demand for the dollar dips. India also refused to use the dollar. They are using a different way of paying for their fuel. So that's the petrodollar. The end is coming up. Like Peter Tosh said, the day the dollar died. So that's why Putin is laughing. But let's check out exactly what the Kenyan president said. Listen to it. Watch it.
For the people who work numbers, I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do, because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks.
That's what he said. The market is going to be different. Everybody's running away from America, the American dollar. America has been on top for so long. So now, the whole game is changing. And America is busily going around, inviting people to so many symposia, talking about marketing and talking about trade and all that, just to keep the dollar there. But Russia says the American dollar is falling, the petrodollar, inevitably. Well, we pray that there will be peace. We just want everybody to eat and have a good life. We do not want anybody to lord it over another. That is our prayer. Next thing we're looking at today, very quickly, says what? Watch it. Attempted suicide, no longer crime in Ghana. Some time ago, if you attempted suicide, you would be severely punished. You will go to jail. It means you try to take your own life. But the Ghanaian courts, all of a sudden, are not going to be busy with this kind of crime anymore, because it's no longer a crime. Watch this. Ghana decriminalizes attempted suicide. Ghana's parliament has approved amendments to the Criminal Offences Act of 1960, which previously made attempted suicide a criminal offense. As per the recent changes, individuals who attempt to take their own life will now be regarded as needing mental health support rather than facing imprisonment under the law. Dash it away. That's the truth. Why would a man want to take his life? It means it's not correct. It's not okay. You know you have only one life. Why do you want to end it? It means you have come to a certain point where you have realized that the world is so worthless, or you are so worthless, you want to end it and go away. It's a mental state. And you actually need what is called treatment and not jail. It's the same question I've been asking. What is homosexuality? Many people in the past and even now, including our medical doctor, the psychiatrist, Kwesi Sapon. What did he say? He said homosexuality is a mental issue. So instead of jailing homosexuals, you should rather take them to a psychiatric hospital for them to be assessed, so that they'll be seen to be whether fit or unfit. But Dr. Kwesi has said something. Watch what, this is Dr. Kwesi. And he has said something. He's called Professor Kwesi Osei, I beg your pardon, not Sapon, Osei. He is the former chief executive mental health authority at our psychiatric hospital. I met him several times. He said anybody who attempts suicide is, by the new law, considered to be mentally ill. It does not necessarily mean you have mental illness at all costs, but that you may be evaluated for mental illness, and if you have, you are treated. So if you don't have, what happens? That's the question I ask. If you attempt suicide, they go and check you and see that, oh, you're okay. What do? They let you go. They give you a bottle of Fanta or Coca-Cola and say, go. A lot of people who are committing suicide, if anybody should go to jail at all, it should be politicians. They are those who are making them want to commit suicide. Terrible decisions, mismanagement of the economy, no nonsense attitude towards the lifestyle that will uplift people. They will not encourage that. Corruption is all over the place. This is the Black Pot, aka Kokoshodum. Congratulations to the Ghana Parliament. I think that suicide is actually a mental illness. Anyone who says, I think I want to end my life, check them out. They are not well. Next. Corrupt governments in Africa smile. There's a man that I like so much. That's him. Professor Steve Hank. He is a well-known professor of economics from Howard University, right? What is he saying? These countries are corrupt. Professor Hank reacts to $10 million security aid to Ghana and others. Remember I told you that we'll come to this check that Vice President of America signed for Ghana? Now let's look at it. What is Professor Steve Hanke saying? Steve Hanke, a professor of applied economics at the Johns Hopkins University, in fact it's Johns Hopkins University, not Howard University, has raised concerns about the $100 million security assistance the United States will be giving to 5 West African countries, including Ghana. In a tweet shared on Wednesday, March 29, 2023, Professor Hanke suggested that the assistance the U.S. will be giving to these countries will be squandered. He said that the level of corruption, perception of the 5 West African countries are terrible. U.S. Vice President Harris announced that the U.S. will provide $1 million American dollars over 10 years to help West African countries like Ghana, Benin, Ivory Coast, Guinea, and Togo. The average corruption perception index for these countries is terrible, 35 over 100. That's 35%. Need I say more? Parts of the tweets the academic shared, you just saw. Dash it away. Of course, these are corrupt countries. If we are able to stem out corruption even by half in this country, we will not need the IMF. We lose money every year to corruption, which is so high, to corrupt people. Corrupt minds. If we are able to deal with corruption in this country, we will be one of the richest in the world. Imagine ECG. 3 people have stolen 2.1 million Ghana cedis. How about the other government institutions and government agencies and outfits? How much more corruption is going there? And people who were born to be corrupt, and people whose fathers were corrupt, will grow up to be corrupt. It's very sad, honestly. Dash it away. Last thing, and we are gone. Listen, dash this away. The last thing I would like to share with you is this. Watch me. These countries that are taking the money from America, how do you feel? And you know that it's because you are corrupt. That is why you are where you are. You don't want to accept homosexuality and other such things from the West, but you are ready to take the money from the West. Do you think the West will let you go without puppeting you? I leave it here. Well, my name is Blakk RASTA, and I want to say thank you so much. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called the Black Empire Media. And click on the notification button. It's a bell. King, 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 king. And you will see us every time, Monday to Friday. Today is the end of the week. I want to say thank you so much. We appreciate you and we love you. Pick up our numbers on the screen. Oh, do business with us. We love to do business with you. My name is Blakk RASTA, and I want to say thank you so much. I do appreciate you. I love you. Oh my God, have mercy. Hey! Wayo!